How much to offer on a home? This is a very, very popular question right now, and sometimes it can be very confusing to a home buyer. Here's the deal, folks. If you're looking for a home at the peak times of year when there are multiple offers going on all over the place, like January to June, you're going to have to step up and be more willing to put yourself out there and offer more if you want to land a home. That's just how it is. First half of the year is always a more competitive time to buy a home, and the second half of the year is a little bit easier. But it's really property specific, because no matter what time of the year, if the seller price is right on the money or a little bit on the low side, they're going to draw a ton of people in. So how do you figure out how much to offer? Well, let's think about a few different things. Number one, how much action is there on the home? When you went to the open house, was there a ton of people there? When you were trying to book a showing with your realtor, was there showings back to back to back and cars everywhere? And was it very busy? Pay attention to that. Also, how is the property priced compared to others in the neighborhood that have recently sold? If everything in the neighborhood has sold between $700,000 and $800,000 in the last year, depending upon what type of condition the property's in, and this one's listed at $699, it's going to sell over asking, especially if you go in to buy it in the first half of the year. So in that case, you're going to have to be very aggressive with your offer. If everything is selling from $700 to $800 and it's listed at $825, maybe you don't have to be as aggressive because their price is already high. If it's at $900 and everything is selling from $700 to $800, they're priced too high, and you probably don't need to offer over asking. But it's property specific, and real estate can be hyper local. So you need to work with an agent who can give you real sound advice, and you can look at the comparative properties and also pay close attention to how much action there is on the property. The first week that the property goes on the market is when the property is going to sell for the most. So if you're making an offer at that time, be prepared. That's when you're going to need to step up in many cases, and step up big if you're going to, if you really want to land that property. If several weeks go by and it's not selling, then of course you can offer less, and you should offer less, unless they make a price adjustment and they get the price back to where it should have been, or I shouldn't say back, but to where it should have been in the first place. Then maybe you have to be more aggressive again. But find the right realtor, take their advice, follow their lead, so that you can land the property. And folks, I want to leave you off with one last thing. This is how real estate works. Every once in a while there's a downfall, then real estate goes up, but the overall trajectory is up. If this was the year 2000 here, okay, and this is '08, maybe I should be a little more dramatic here. Prices went down more. Maybe they went down more like that. Then we got to 2022 when prices peaked. The second half of 2022 in many areas, prices settled down a little bit, right? And now we're at the first part of the year, so things are starting to sell quickly again. Great, but the overall trajectory in the future is they're going to go up. So even when you see slight interruptions in pricing, keep in mind that prices go up. So even if you pay an extra $5 or $10 or $15 or $20 or $30,000, if you're buying a $700,000 asset, one thing I can guarantee you is no matter what you pay, in 5 years it'll be worth more. In 10 years it'll be worth dramatically more. I hope that makes sense on what to offer on a home. Good luck. Happy home buying.